until she saw with her own eyes that her husband married that scheming woman. She finally made up her mind to completely disappear from his world. After returning home, she accidentally overheard a conversation between the scumbag and that woman. It was then that she realized he had never loved her. Thinking back on the years she spent with the scumbag, she was constantly tormented by her mother-in-law, feeling oppressed and wronged, but she never had the courage to talk to her husband about it. Later, she went to the civil affairs office to get a new marriage certificate, but the staff told her that they couldn't process it during the divorce cooling-off period. She was shocked on the spot, and the staff continued, saying that her husband had recently submitted a divorce application. That's when it suddenly hit her. She remembered that her husband had made her sign a document at the hospital a while ago. At the time, she wanted to open it and check, but her husband stopped her, saying it was just a hospital bill. She didn't think much of it and signed it. It turned out that this was all part of a scam they had set up together from the start. When she rushed back to the hospital, she accidentally overheard a conversation with her mother-in-law. In fact, her mother-in-law's illness had long been cured. She had faked it just to torture her. That scheming woman pretended to be concerned and said, "It's not right to deceive like this," but her mother-in-law arrogantly replied, "She owes me," while the scumbag just comforted his mother, telling her not to get too upset. It was then that she realized everyone knew the truth, except for her. Back at home, when the scumbag saw her packing her clothes, he asked her what she was doing. She said bluntly that after seeing her mother-in-law's actions today and his attitude toward that woman, she knew she could never compare to her in his heart. The scumbag immediately grabbed her clothes and threw them aside, accusing her of not being considerate of his sick mother and even saying, "She's used to it." Those words broke her heart. Even worse, the scumbag went on to say that his mother's paralysis was her fault. Suddenly, she remembered how every time she was alone with her mother-in-law would always find an excuse to send the scumbag away. She had always thought that after they got married, things would be different, but because she didn't get a call from her mother-in-law on their wedding night, her mother-in-law suddenly fell ill, and that guilt had stayed with her for years. Thinking of this, she immediately asked the scumbag for a divorce. But the scumbag kept arguing, saying it was his mother who had forced him into this, and he had no choice. But she would never believe him again. She had heard her mother-in-law say more than once that the scheming woman was the one who deserved to be her daughter-in-law. All these years, no matter how much she had suffered, the scumbag had never stood by her side. The next day, when her mother-in-law came back home from the hospital, she immediately mocked her. That scheming woman, seeing this, deliberately stoked the fire, saying she seemed to dislike her mother-in-law. Hearing this, the mother-in-law immediately told the scheming woman to pick any room she liked to stay in, while the scumbag stayed silent the whole time. That evening, as she was heading upstairs, she saw her mother-in-law and the scheming woman about to throw away her paintings. She tried to stop them, but the scumbag grabbed her and said his mother had just been discharged and was weak, so she should go easy on her. She immediately retorted, saying he knew how important those paintings were to her, but the scumbag didn't care and said, "You can just paint new ones." Seeing this, the scheming woman took it a step further and started taking down their wedding photo from the wall and throwing it away, while the scumbag remained indifferent. Finally, the scheming woman suggested she should take the master bedroom, and the mother-in-law immediately agreed. Just as the scumbag was about to say something, she spoke first and agreed, saying she would move to the guest room.